Okay, so it's late in the day, and I'm watching Roman Atwood at the same time as today I learned how, hold on. As today I learned what a ketone is, more like the chemical structure of it, like the line structure and the Lewis structure. And I find it funny of how I turn on Roman Atwood and every time I hear ketones, I think of the line structure. Hold on, that's not the line structure. The line structure of a ketone, which now it looks like a person. But here, that's better. It's also backwards for everyone. Fantastic. And the R's just mean, because R isn't an element on the periodic table, so that just means any other element that's attached to those bonds works to make a ketone. You basically just need oxygen, a double bond to carbon, and then carbon branching off to others. Although I don't know if you need that carbon in the middle. Organic chemistry just has a lot of carbon, so that's always my default chemical now. But we're learning naming. In fact, today was our last day of naming. And basically, you have to memorize like a gajillion charts and memorize which order, like the rankings of how to name elements. Because of course there's 4 parts to naming an element, but really 5 when you think of the number, where the number tells you where that element is in the molecule, in the structure, in the line structure, and Lewis structure too. But like more on the line structure, I feel like. And so my teacher got us active for free, mainly because I don't think this active is just used for practice problems. We don't get graded on it, but like today for naming, we have 44 problems to do, and I got all but 7 correct. Although I did use my notes, which means I should have got all. But basically, I'm just going to take these, write it in my notes, and basically quiz myself in making sure I know how to name everything based off of knowledge versus looking it up, as I almost like poked my eye with this iPad pencil. And yeah, that's where I'm at, is naming. Some of them are easy, or they come more naturally to me, like for single, double, triple bonds, those are good. When a carbon branches off of the longest chain, I know that it's methanol, ethanol. That's as much as I got to. If there's more, if it branches off 3 times, then I have to search it up. But the fact that our teacher didn't go over, my professor did not go over, when maybe they did. Okay, that one I may have to look at one more time. Of when carbon branches out 3 times from the longest chain, like has a chain of 3 carbons. I have to think. I have to check on that. And then the suffix, okay, I'm almost there on it. But for ketone, I remember it's 1. For alcohol, I know it's OL. And then there's one acid, which is like the highest top. What's the name? The fact that I don't know the name is like, I need to know the name. Hold on. The highest priority, how it's, the suffix is OIC and then acid. Amine, I know, and the prefix amino. That one I like because it's really easy. We're like, it's just a bunch of memorization. And I'm so glad I decided to do this on the iPad versus continuing with paper, because when they say you need an iPad for chemistry, you need an iPad for chemistry. Like, it makes it so much easier because, yes, notes are like on a notebook are fine, but my teacher uploads whatever document we're using during class to Canvas, because that's what we use, before class starts or at the beginning of class. So yes, you could technically print it, but I like transferring to a place where I can write on my iPad, and it's easier for me to like look at my notes later because it's all in one place, versus if it's on a notebook, then you have to have another device open to see like why you're making these notes even, you know, to connect, because this is really colorful, but there's so much. And then like here, I labeled each of the groups with different colors, so I know right away why I put down that group and how it shows on the molecule. Functional groups, that's the groups I was referring to just then. Because I didn't know there were so many into just naming a molecule, especially when you get to more than 2 functional groups. I thought, oh, you would just list like the next highest only. No, you have to list all of them. So that's fun. And then you have to say where they are on the molecule in correspondence to the longest chain, which is even more fun because then you have to figure out how you're counting it. Because yes, you could go left and right, but then sometimes you have to start right to left. And then especially when you have the hectagons, pectagons, octagons, you literally could start anywhere almost when it comes to them. So that's like so much fun. Start anywhere. There's like, it's a lot that goes into this, so that's really fun. But that's what I'm doing on a Friday night, is mastering how to name molecules for my chemistry class, because my professor said this is the last day we're going over naming. Wednesday we have to cover other things because Monday there's no school. And so guess who's going to office hours on Tuesday? This lady. In fact, I think I'm going to 3 office hours on Tuesday because I have to go to my advisor, I have to go to my English teacher, and then chemistry professor. I love how I switch between teacher and professor when legit the same in college. Although depending on the type of professor, they would prefer you call them professor. Unless they have their doctorates, then they would like to be called doctor. But then I have some professors that are like, as long as you come for me to help and you have a gist of my name, literally, one of my teachers were literally, instead of saying the whole last name, just saying the first letter of the last name, because she's like, what's most important is you understanding the material than you trying to learn my name. Which, like, I understand names are important, but they're just saying, I'd rather you come to me than with questions of the material than fixating on how to say my name. Which, like, basically what's more important in this situation. Of course, it's good to know people's names, but yeah, I'm done with that train of thought. Anyways, that's the end of today's video. Thank you for joining me on this mainly chemistry thing. Also, let me know in your comments on the outfit I showed earlier in the video. And should I include more outfits of the day reveals in the daily vlogs? So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that, or else I'm just going to continue rambling on. But I got to name some molecules and go over the ones I didn't know and go over the ones I needed to use help, which was almost all 44 questions, but not all. I'm pretty sure I did 20 on my own without looking at notes because they involved single bonds, triple bonds, double bonds, ketones. Although a ketone one did stump me for a second. Oh well. Anyways, I got a lot to do just for one class. And on top of that, I got a bunch of other classes because I got 6 in total. Also, what is that? Something over here keeps popping up, like, oh, see, right there. It's the reflection off of the, it's the reflection of the light off of the iPad to the wall. That's what it is. Smart. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna end the video. Bye, y'all.